I thought I marked out when I met Eddie Money, but I am marking out like nobody's business. I've got next to me the world's greatest ring announcer, Michael Buffer. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Now, you are amazing. How the hell did you get started doing all this stuff?
You know, I grew up, born and raised in Philadelphia, and when Atlantic City came along with the casino industry, they started to have all these fights to get people to come to the casinos. And it was a, like a 65, 70-minute drive for me. And as a fight fan, I would try to go and see the fights. And watching once on TV a fight from Atlantic City, and the ring announcer kind of screwed up a split decision where he didn't give it in that dramatic way where you don't know who won until the third score.
Yeah.
And my son, my oldest son, who was 13 at the time, going way back, he said, "Dad, you could do that." And I thought, well, yeah, it'd be a great way to not have to pay all that money to get a seat. And I got my foot in the door, and it just took off.
So let's get ready to rumble is your catchphrase.
Mm-hmm.
You used to do one show one time. You did man your battle stations.
Well, I was looking for that, for like a hook, and the whole reason was somewhere along the line, I guess in the 70s, early 80s, because of television, all the commissioners and the entire state athletic commissions and the alphabets, WBA, IBF, etc., they all wanted everybody to be introduced. And there were fights where sometimes you would introduce 19 or 20 people before the stars of the show, before the main event. And after the fighters would come to the ring, there's music, there's excitement, and you've killed the crowd. Everybody's all pumped up, and you just kill the crowd with all these introductions. So I wanted something like, "Gentlemen, start your engines."
Yeah.
You hear that, the race is going to begin.
Exactly.
Exactly. And the stars of the show were the fighters, and I wanted the crowd to come back and have that energy again. So I started looking for something to try and get it back. And like you said, I tried, man your battle stations.
Oh, I always thought that was great.
That was pretty bad. Yeah. I think I tried. There was something else I tried. Fasten your seatbelts.
Yeah.
And but the great Muhammad Ali, at his famous weigh-ins, and when he would give interviews, and he would say, "I'm so pretty, I'm ready to rumble," and rumble, young man, rumble. And Bodini Brown used to have this whole thing with float like a butterfly. So that touch of that expression was out there, and I started saying, "Let's get ready to rumble."
That's awesome.
And I just stayed with it.
So talk to me about the way that, because you're a boxing guy, talk to me
Boxing
about,
fan.
Talk to me about the fact where boxing was, UFC was kind of kicking its ass, and now all of a sudden boxing's everywhere.
I got to tell you something. It's not that UFC was just doing really well.
Yeah.
It's not that boxing wasn't, because today we can go to the internet and you can look and you'll see fights all over the world.
Yep.
And you've got one UFC every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and
it's like 3-hour Monday Night Raws.
Yeah, I know. This Saturday, well, a lot of wrestling fans are UFC fans.
Yes.
They don't want to admit that, but it's true.
Yes.
And it's good, though. It's good. UFC has a hardcore, solid, devoted following, and they're loyal. And the UFC is its own cottage industry. They're like the NFL. I mean, they're a major, major force.
Now, I've followed your career forever. I'm a huge Michael Buffer fan.
Oh, thanks.
You go from the huge boxing fights of the 80s. You did UFC 6 in Casper, Wyoming, I believe.
Yeah, I did a few UFCs.
And then you did the ring announcing for Jake Paul.
Do you know how big that was?
That was a huge
It was huge,
deal.
yeah, it really was.
And you probably got a giant paycheck out of that.
You keep talking about money. Didn't I tell you I do this just for fun? What's with this guy? I tell you. Man.
So, what do you make of the fight card we got tomorrow night here at the Kansas Star Casino?
You saw the weigh-in. This is a really solid card from top to bottom. You got Bam Bam on the card, and Clarissa Shields, who's going to be, she's already a star. She's going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
She's really, really outstanding, and Olympic champion, and I just want to see her all the time. I'm glad she's going to be on this show with DAZN. More and more people follow DAZN, and the streaming service. And the more we see of her, the better it is. You've got these women, Katie Taylor now from Ireland, And from Norway is First Lady of Boxing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
I just when you get old, you forget things.
You got a lot of names to keep track of with all
but
these guys.
women's boxing now we have comparable fighters. It used to be two or three or four just dominated, and so now you have more and more fighters with good fights.
Division.
Yeah, and they're in the Olympics, and that makes a big difference.
So before we let you go, how do we find you online, social media?
Cecilia Breckus is the name I was trying to think of. I love you, Cecilia.
Is it just Michael?
She looks like a
Buffer
movie star, so how could I forget
on
it?
Twitter? Just Michael Buffer. Are you on Facebook at all?
Michael_Buffer.
Anywhere?
At Michael_Buffer. Instagram, same thing. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an honor and a privilege, sir.
All right, man.
I appreciate it.
Good to see you.
And thanks for watching Jiggy Jag TV.